All right, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Update Show. Today we're using our big boy voices because we got a lot of activity that's going on right here. I'll be honest with you, this is the most action we've seen on Pine Street in about 8 days since the Seattle Police Department evacuated from the East Precinct right there. This morning joining us, we're actually going to get it directly from the horse's mouth, so to speak. We've got Sam Zimbabwe, who's here, who is the director over at SDOT. He's going to tell us what the finalized plan is going on. You guys that have been following our stream, you've seen over the past few days, we actually hosted a few town hall meetings here in the production loft with Chief Scoggins, with Zimbabwe, with public utilities, with business owners, and with security here. After that time, there was 3 plans, right? They were released over to the team, to the security and the business owners, and I believe this is option number 3. But let me not tell your story. So, you know what I'm saying? Again, we have Sam Zimbabwe here, who's been with us, and let people know. I mean, you've actually been with us, man. Every time there's been a meeting, a public meeting, we've been together. Director at SDOT, why don't you explain what's going on? And you got to use that big construction voice.
All right. Thanks, Amari. So yeah, I've been out here every day since last Tuesday, working on how we bring back some balance and make space for First Amendment protest, and also make sure we have access for all the residents and businesses in the community. We had a couple different options. We presented them. We made a lot of tweaks based on feedback we got. We expanded the area up here on 12th and Pine to make sure that we had enough space for protest. We also know that on some days it's going to be bigger than what's here now. So what we're doing right now is we're putting in these concrete blocks, putting in some plywood on top of that so we can have continued place for artistic expression from the community, protest expression. This is all about maintaining First Amendment rights and creating a space for protest, and also enabling traffic to come in, local traffic to come into the community as well.
Right, and so a lot of people might not realize, like you said, that yourself, Chief Scoggins, and what was your other colleague's name from Public Utilities?
Mami Hara, General Manager of Seattle Public Utilities.
Mami Hara.
Yeah, Hara. Yeah.
Hara, Mami Hara. Chief Scott, it's like the 3 amigos over here that you see in the chats. But, I mean, we've talked all along about credible messengers kind of being here and people who carry a lot of weight and not a lot of baggage. And we see that. I mean, I think there's still a long ways to go here as far as the political sides of things. And maybe that's an advantage as well over here, that you can work on the logistics side while people are working out the political side. Now tell me, what's the wood over here for? I've got an assumption that it might be for art and things like that, but you can tell us about the wood, and also how far spaced now are these cement blocks?
Yeah, so these are what we call ecology blocks. They're about 6 feet by 2 feet by 3 feet high. But we also felt like there's been so much artistic expression, so much coming out from the community, from the protest movement, where we felt like there was an opportunity to create that canvas for people at the same time as we're also creating a barrier to separate traffic from the protest area. So this is plywood that we're installing on top of these blocks, and it can be for whatever. It's really trying to make a space.
So let's be clear. SDOT is saying it's just plywood for whatever it ends up being, because as soon as you say it's for pay, I don't know if you've noticed around here, this wouldn't last in a day. So whoever's supplying the plywood over here, if they keep it, they'll have a swift business, because here on Capitol Hill, nothing stays empty for long, man.
That's right.
So will there be traffic on both sides of the street?
No, so this barrier, so we're standing over here on the
this is the south
side of Pine. This is going to be a protest zone, and this is connecting all the way from up here at 12th and Pine.
That's 12th and Pine right there, yeah.
Yep, we're going to connect all the way down to the park, and we're leaving closed. Don't know which way to turn here. We're leaving closed.
That's
here
to your west.
Right. So between 10th and 11th on Pine, that's going to stay totally closed to traffic.
Okay.
Because that's where we got the mural and all that stuff right there connected to the park. There'll be southbound traffic or westbound traffic on Pine that'll have to turn north onto 11th. But we've made sure to keep access to all the businesses, all the driveways for utility pickup, for fire emergency egress. We've really tried to, and we've been out here all morning tailoring that. We've been talking to, businesses, how do they get their deliveries, where do they need to get to and from, and making little tweaks out here in the field.
Right, and as far as SDOT, I know that maybe you can speak on the whole city's position, or maybe not, but as far as SDOT and as far as your office, how important has it been for you to be able to engage with the people who are here in the Chaz, the CHOP, you know what I'm saying, the protest zone, and be able to understand? Because although this is new, I'd say, construction today, there's always been things that SDOT and utilities and fire has had to deal with.
Yep.
You know, this is visible, but
yeah.
what are some of the other things that you've been engaging, you guys even collectively have been engaging with some of the people of the CHOP about?
Yeah, so the people who have been here on the ground 24/7 organizing the protest have tried to make everything work. And I think we've seen where it's gotten a little bit challenging when utilities have to come in, when deliveries, and when we have to do trash pickup. You know, it takes a lot of human effort right now. And so some of this that we're doing makes it so that the neighborhood can get back to operating on its own with the coexisting with the protest. This is not usual. This is not what we do in other places. You probably haven't seen this around Seattle before.
I seen a guy here, and he worked with the Occupy Wall Street and a few other things, and he was like, yo, I've never seen in a protest area the city and protesters kind of working on something or whatever. I was like, welcome to Seattle. You know what else I told him too? I said, you might not have seen another city where guys have a precinct and they've made it like a, you know, an art thing. Seattle is very, you know what I'm saying, unique in that. But I mean, do you think, and if you can answer it, you can, and if you can't, that's fine. I see Dominique's over there, so maybe she can. Do you consider this as well as like an olive branch kind of from the city side, and being because it's like logistical and it's operational,
right? You
know, it's something tangible that people can see?
Yep, I think that's absolutely right. I think what you said, this is Seattle values here. This is the city coming and helping, trying to make space for the protest, also keep space for the neighborhood. Really trying to make sure that we can all coexist. So, you know, like I said, I've never done this in my career before. Nobody at SDOT. These guys, these men and women who are out here today, they're building things they've never built before.
Does that mean we're going to see you at TED Talks when this is all over with?
I don't know.
It's going to be Sam
not.
Zimbabwe.
I'd love to go back to some of the regular stuff too that I have to do, but you know, these folks are out here doing stuff that they've never done before either.
Right.
We're all making it up as we go and really trying to find space together.
Right. And now, if you guys don't have something up, it's okay. Don't feel bad or anything. But for the general public, how can people best stay informed? Man, SDOT's hot again, and the best thing is, it's not about potholes. I'm sure. Matter of fact, where's the pothole guys at? Those guys are like.
We can repave this when we're all done.
Those are their dudes. So the public, you're back in the public radar. It's not about potholes, but how can people? Are you guys going to be updating your activities or actions here on your Twitter, on your website, or is that for somebody else? Or you guys are just in the streets doing the work?
Right now, we're just doing the work. We're trying to make the community safe. As we continue to have updates, as you know, this is something that's probably going to continue to evolve, right? The protest has evolved very quickly. This is all changing. This is something where we're going to continue to evolve. We'll make sure that people know what's up. But I think the most important thing is, you see, it's a sunny day now. Sunny day. People are coming around. We're making everybody safe. There's a lot of good stuff going on here.
All right, one last question for you. I'm getting a lot of comments over here. Is who pays for this?
Yeah, well, we'll work all that out. Right now, it's probably coming out of SDOT's budget, but
look at SDOT. You pulled out the card, bro.
Exactly.
Right,
we got a GoFundMe. No, I'm just joking.
All right. Well, you know, I mean, it's just kind of good to actually sit out here in some sunshine for once and have a lighthearted conversation around such a very serious issue.
Absolutely.
That's occurring here. You know, and I would say that some people might call this progress. Some people might call this a step backwards, depending upon how they view it. But either way, action has taken place here in conjunction with SDOT, Public Utilities, the fire department, Chief Scoggins, and the protest zone members that you guys have been meeting with.
That's right. So yeah, we're all trying to make progress together, and you know, I expect these to be beautifully decorated at some point here, and be important part of the community too.
Beautifully decorated with street art. There it is. Hey, this is Sam Zimbabwe. He is the director of SDOT. Taking a few minutes to join us, man. I appreciate it. I know you gotta get back to work and everything.
He's gotta be doing the hard work. I'm just watching.
That's what's up. We're going to take a short break right now. When we come back, the morning update show continues from the chop. Hold on right there.
I'm a young black man doing all that I can to stand. Oh, but when I look around and I see what's being done to my kind, every day I'm being hunted as prey. My people don't want no trouble. We've had enough struggle. I just wanna live. God protect me. I just wanna live. I just wanna live.
All right. Welcome back to the morning update show. You heard it right there. From the horse's mouth, Sam Zimbabwe, the director at SDOT. We got a whole lot of moving and shaking going on over here on Pine Street in the middle of the chop as SDOT is putting down the cement barriers right here, and they're actually going to open up a part of the chop for one-way traffic. Another part of the chop is to be protected as part of the protest zone in the park, the Black Lives Matter that's down there on Lower Pine Street, on which they've renamed here in the chop Black Lives Matter Way. That's still going to be closed to car traffic. And basically it's going to be a one-way loop that's going to be right up here through the chop zone. Now, what we've seen is this is the end result of days of conversation and collaboration headed by Fire Chief Scoggins, Mamihara of Public Utilities, Sam Zimbabwe of SDOT, and then we saw them meet several times with people on the political and logistical side of the protest, security people, barrier people, medic people, business owners, and also people who have the political message around the protest as well. It looks like that this is a solution they came up with. It's solution number 3, and we'll put it up there on the, not for this show, but I'll put it up on Twitter or on Facebook and everywhere else, so you can see solution number 3 or option number 3. It looks like that's what they decided upon here. Lots of paint, everything. Actually, come on out, Trae. I thought I was going to jump right into this Carmen Best clip, but not quite. And so the wood is here. The wood. These guys
gotta get
work
the cameras.
hard.
Yeah,
Cameras
get it, hands.
The wood is here. Director Zimbabwe didn't say exactly why, but he did say he expected to see some art. Yeah, he expected to see some art on it. And, you know, these guys move fast. I wouldn't be surprised that there's already somebody down there at block number 1, especially as soon as these images go out and it is fresh wood. Oh, my friend. But, Trae, last time you were here, none of this stuff was here. What are your thoughts?
Wow, man. This is amazing, honestly. I mean, it really looks like what Seattle is really showing is their sense of leadership and innovation. There's a way to meet in the middle. And, you know, me as a person who wants everyone to be well, you know me, I'm a lover of all, right? And that makes me happy. It does. It makes me happy to see this because, you know, honestly, what you don't want in a city is the strong dissension, right? And I think that you've been reporting on it a lot last week is just, hey, how does this move forward? How do we actually blend these list of demands? How do we make sure that, you know, the black community up there in the CD is getting what they need, but also these folks down here are getting what they need? So this looks like a step at least in the right direction. Right.
Well, I mean, it's hard to say, you know, as far as, like I said, I think some people will see this as progress and some people will see this as a step backwards. I don't know. Not really my job here, but I can say that it's hard not to see it as some sort of olive branch, at least on a logistical and tactical level from the city of Seattle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's still a lot of big, heavy discussions that had around the political realm, and, man, I don't know if I want to be in that room. But you know, there's what I can say is Chief Scoggins from Jump has said that, like, man, the city's position is like, we just want to be able to provide a safe space for ongoing dialogue around this issue. It's like, man, dialogue can't really occur in the best way if there's not even safety there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think that we see here, like I said, with public utilities and SDOT, I want to get this. We got a short show today. I want to get this clip in right here. A lot of people think like the black community and everything is very homogeneous. That's not the case anywhere in Seattle or anywhere in America. As best exhibited by Sunday, where there was actually a prayer meeting by black preachers and clergy for Police Chief Carmen Best. A lot of you guys might not know Carmen Best, a black woman. She's a 27-year veteran of the Seattle Police Department. As they say, one of the people that came up through the ranks. Because Carmen Best is actually from Seattle, though, well, she's from Tacoma initially, but she's been on the SPD for 26 years. She's built a lot of ties in the community well before she was ever chief.
Yeah.
And so we got a clip right here, thanks to Cairo News, in which they covered the prayer meeting that black clergy and religious leaders came out to show their public backing of Chief Best.
Police chief answered tough questions on CBS's Face the Nation this morning. She faced the leadership of Seattle's black clergy at Goodwill Baptist Church. But there, she received strong encouragement mixed with demands to make historic changes. KIRO 7's Gary Horker talked to the chief there. And Gary, she says she had an epiphany about what she needs to do.
She said that epiphany occurred when she marched along with 60,000 Black Lives Matter protesters, all carrying the same signs, demanding the same hardcore changes, the same reforms. And Chief Best said at that moment, her epiphany was that she is the historic pivot point. She is the person that is responsible for overseeing all of those historic changes to come. And pastors here at the Goodwill Missionary Baptist Church in the Central District said she needs to be courageous.
Chief Best, you're the best.
Acknowledging she's caught in a struggle between the demands of protesters, city leadership, and more demands to disband and defund her department, Chief Carmen Best heard encouraging words today from spiritual leaders.
We want to let everyone know who's calling for her resignation. I'm going to break my English right now. It ain't going to happen.
The goal of this gathering of 10 Seattle African American clergy leaders and Carmen Best is to take the appeal of police reform and racial equity to the highest authority. But they're also demanding hardcore reform and radical changes to uproot racism within the department. They say she is the right leader at the right time.
We are standing with our chief to bring unity in our city.
I was not expecting this. My heart is full, and I'm so very honored. I feel encouraged. I meant that sincerely. We're in, very strange and unique times, but it's also, I believe, every challenge is an opportunity, and we have opportunity here, for sure.
All right, welcome back to the morning update show. We're using our big boy and big girl voices today because a lot of construction. There's a whole lot of shaking going on up here on Pine Street. As SDOT, they are out here in full force, man. I mean, it's the orange jackets are everywhere. Can you take one of these cameras? Are you able to get a shot over there real quick? SDOT is in the building, y'all, and they're putting these cement barriers here, and they're creating a one-way traffic pattern through the CHOP, and they're putting wood here on top of each barrier, and the wood the street artists I'm sure would appreciate. But either way, a change has come here to the CHOP. I mean, there's some people who are going to be very welcoming of this. Some people who are not. But, I mean, like I said before the break, the city is clearly, they've reached out on Olive Branch, and somebody here in the CHOP or a group of people here in the CHOP are like, hey, they take the branch.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you see here. And I think what we saw in the clip there with the pastors and Chief Best, I wanted to hear, I'm sure that there are some folks in the community who were like, oh, wow. I mean, there's so much meetings happening and vibrancy happening and like community in a sense happening. Oh, so that was good to see as well. And I think that we're seeing olive branches happening all over the city.
Right. Oh, I got a question here from Sarah Hasia. I'm sorry. My eyes still ain't been right since that tear gas, by the way. But she's curious if the CHOP is seeing people from different states coming to visit, and if so, how they participated. I met a gentleman last night when I was on the stream, came over from Taiwan.
Yeah, wow.
And I mean, there's international press this here, but it's people who are coming, and then also like which is there's some people who are organizing for the Occupy Wall Street. They've been here, so they're here as well. The Occupy guys are some of them are here. There's different observers. And then there's people from both sides of this issue. I mean, yesterday we saw people who were coming into the chop who were from out of town. We saw the Proud Boys here yesterday.
Wow.
We saw this guy Tiny here yesterday. Max was out here with the flag. He said he lives in the city of Seattle. Max, I mean, it was real interesting. And real quick, I don't have a lot of time, but I think we're going to do a one-on-one show here like 2 or 3 o'clock. So yesterday was a black woman preacher, or, maybe just a proselytizer. And she said that she wanted to come and spread the word of Jesus Christ here in the zone. I don't know, sounds good to me. But she put out a thing on a message board and said that, the chop looks kind of scary on TV. I'm asking for security. Chop for a lot of people as well. If you're not here and you see the news, it can look scary.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
But then after that, the Proud Boys hit her back and said, hey, we'd be more than happy to offer you security into the chop. So it was an amazing scene yesterday. I don't know the other way to describe it. You had this black woman, with her Jesus Save speech, surrounded by Proud Boys. And then, like, the biggest Proud Boy of them all is this guy named Tiny, a big Samoan guy, man. And I'm talking to him. And, I learned a lot yesterday, which I tell people I ask questions because I didn't even know. I thought the Proud Boys was all white guys.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that, man, there's this thing called ultra-nationalism where it's not even about race no more. It's just about, your national identity and everything else. I mean, man, it was kind of a hectic scene here for a little bit yesterday. It's up on the ConvergeMedia YouTube page, you know what I'm saying, as well. Of course, people can find it on our Facebook page. And by the way, almost all of our streams are up on the YouTube page. We've been really good in getting those up there. But, I mean, and then you had Max who came back. That was the black guy who was here a few days ago who had the flag on the tree. He came back with where he said that his initial goal was to take the flag off the East Precinct because it's flying upside down. We know that a flag flying upside down is a sign of distress. So it was a real interesting scene. And then there's a video circulating out there as well as maybe an interested bystander or a citizen journalist interaction with these guys, a fight breaking out, phone getting destroyed, some of everything else. Haven't had a lot of we like to review a lot of different things, but I saw this thing here myself. That's now another issue. You know what I'm saying? And so I thought it was just going to be a regular Sunday. But the nighttime was very peaceful, though.
Well, the thing is that, a lot of the media reports are making it seem like this is now a tourist destination. And I really would love to know the data and the statistics behind the numbers that are flying in, driving in, coming into the city just to see the chop. I mean, this is really happening all over, and it's crazy because I didn't realize it until people were telling me. People are literally like, hey, I'm reading it here and I'm coming meeting people, and they're like, oh man, this is so cool. You're like, whoa, this is why there's been now articles written about the novelty of this, right?
Well,
and it kind of moving into that way and getting away from the issues.
Now,
we want all these guys to stay focused on the issues.
I'm going to be lighthearted here because some people, we got new viewers, and they take everything I'm saying as very, very serious. If you know, I'm kind of a lighthearted kind of guy. These guys now, if you thought it was a tourist attraction before, do you know how many people are going to come down this weekend so they can look at the art, take a picture of the art? I know as a new fledgling autonomous zone here, I think they might want to put in a visa fee over here, man. Saying a visa entry fee to be able to enter the zone because there's a lot of tourists that we can expect to come down here into the chop. Again, not to sidestep the very serious issues that are out there. And Sam Zimbabwe said that here today. We've also heard it from Mami Hara and from Chief Scoggins. But, everybody is operating at different levels here. You know what I'm saying? I think Chief Scoggins, though, as we said before, is one of those credible messengers that can really carries a lot of weight and not a lot of baggage. He's also been talking to them about issues with the city and with SPD. But SDOT, Public Utilities, the fire department, we've been reporting from day one, the very first day after the Western Barricade fell, we saw the chief out here.
Yeah.
We saw SDOT and them out here. And so apparently they're able to work well with this team of protesters here. Yeah. We've got about a minute and a half left, but I wanted to give you some time to get your shine on.
Well, you know what? I mean, this has just been a tremendous showing and a tremendous movement. To be honest, you and I, we stay so stuck on the reporting of it and literally like being in the middle of it. I didn't realize this wasn't happening all over the nation. I thought that this was I thought that the movement, the swell of energy. So honestly, I'm just honored to be able to say I'm born and raised in the Central District of Seattle, and that it's people in our city who are putting the pressure on. Man, shout out to all of y'all.
All right, so real quick, just wanted, and we'll talk through this. I want to tell you guys about our website. You can go ahead and put that clip up, Daryl. You can. Are we good? It's rolling. Okay, so make sure you check us out at whereweconverge.com. You can find all the past streams. You can sign up for alerts from when we go live. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can help support independent media. You know what I'm saying? Go to our website, man. Feel free to donate. We've been out here for quite a long time. You know what I'm saying? Sustaining out here. But we want to be able to carry a story in the best way for how we know how to do it. That's whereweconverge.com. And something else that we launched, you go ahead and put up the third clip there, Daryl, is that we've launched a podcast from over here. We've got a few different series that will be going, but the first one is called Citizens of the Chop. And, the very first episode is up, and that's me and Bobby Steele's the postman. And in the second episode, I actually talked to the woman who had the pink umbrella. We all remember the pink umbrella moment. We had a discussion in the third episode. It's up there. We talked to K.Y. King Garrett. When you talk about the city and demands and everything, Africatown was the first organization to get a demand granted, basically, with Fire Station 6. So you can check out the podcast by either going to our website, but it's also on SoundCloud, it's on Spotify, on Apple, on Google, on everything, and it's called Converge Media Networks. But if you have a problem finding it, just go to our website, whereweconverge.com, and you can check it out there.
That is so amazing. Just the proliferation of the shows that Converge is really doing right now to really bring these stories to life. That's the beautiful part, and I'm so happy to be a part of it, y'all. I'm just going to encourage all of y'all, if you guys like what you see here, please donate to Converge, y'all. You see he got the nice Converge sweatshirt. I'm trying to get my sweatshirt on. You feel me?
Look at dirty hands.
Thank y'all for your support.
All right, man. We're gonna keep it 100 with Daryl, with DQ. We give him a hard time. We be on his head so much he's already gone bald out here. But today is your son's graduating today?
Woo!
His son. That's right. So his son's graduating today, so we got an abbreviated show. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations, Daryl. Is this the last one out?
Nah.
One more.
Yeah, one more.
6 years.
Almost there, DQ.
Woo. All right. Well, in that case, we're sending you love, light, and energy. Yeah. Hey, we're getting out of here for today so DQ can get to his son's graduation. Thank you for joining us. But we did bring you a very big story here at the top of the hour with SDOT's moving and an interview with Sam Zimbabwe. I'm going to come back out here live in a little bit and be able to update you guys from the zone. You're watching the Morning Update Show. We are standing, so you know what time it is. Lift every voice and sing.
Peace.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing side.